Hatching is a Finnish film with English subtitles. Here's my review of the new release, Hatching. So Hatching is a horror film. The runtime is an hour and 26 minutes. It's about a young gymnast named Tinja who desperately wants to please her helicopter mom, but nothing she does is good enough. Her mom runs an online blog pretending to have the picture-perfect family, but when the cameras are off, we see the mom's having an affair, the dad is vacant and diminished and accepts his wife's extramarital affair. Tinja isn't a prodigy and therefore feels unloved by her mom, and the son is blatantly ignored. They're all props for this woman. After watching her mom asphyxiate a crow in abject horror, Tinja wanders into the woods in the dead of night, only to find the crow breathing its last breath and its egg nearby needing care. So Tinja brings the egg back to her room and cares for it until it hatches. She calls it Allie, her only friend. Allegory seems to be in direct correlation with what Tinja wishes for her relationship with her mother. But when Allie hatches, it becomes an evil doppelganger of Tinja, killing anything in its wake. Tinja tries to prevent the crow from hurting people and animals, but it can't be stopped. The crow begins taking on Tinja's form and personality and inhabiting her likeness to the point you almost can't tell them apart. Throughout the film, you also notice that the mom has a scar similar to Allie's, and you're left to guess if the mom is an evil doppelganger of a crow in the past. Is that why she murdered the crow earlier, so that Tinja wouldn't have to go through what she herself went through? That's a question left unanswered, though. You're left to guess. There are issues with the film, but they're not frustrating or amateurish, but they're your normal issues. There are production issues and cost savings more than intentional plot holes. They're obvious, but not to the point where you're distracted from the story. Now, the cinematography is very bright for a horror film, which was, I think, a good strategy, because what's being hatched isn't as fearful as unattainable perfection, which inevitably is illuminated. So I think it was strategic to make this a very light colored horror film. In that sense, the lighting makes sense. As far as the acting, I think the mother and daughter performed well. The son and father, they were basically just there like props. The score was decent. The pieces were more fantastical than the over-exaggerated F-sharp, B-flat chords you typically hear in horror flicks. The film has elements, in my opinion, of E.T., Single White Female, Child's Play, and even Annabelle, but with somewhat of a unique spin. If you're in the mood for some subtle horror, I recommend seeing Hatching. Now, this is a foreign film with subtitles, but the subtitles were not scrolling fast. It went at a decent pace where you can follow along. You can also read the human behavior and not necessarily need subtitles in main points. On a grading scale, I would rate Hatching a C. Although it is a decent film, there are some issues, but it's not bad. It's sort of fresh, but familiar. Thank you so much for your time. I certainly appreciate you. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, peace.